Well, right in the middle of a very hot qualified day with Andy Moore on a fantastic facility. But before we talk to Andy, let's see what some of his rivals think about the track and the environment.
The track itself and the facility and everything is great.
I think the general layout is okay. It's pretty challenging. It's a bit tight, a little slow, you know, compared to what we're used to. But it's a good challenging track. I mean, for my liking, it's a bit on the small side.
I think it's good to have a Worlds at a smaller track, and yeah, they made a good job, the club here. I don't think there's no problem.
Andy Moore, another World Championships, and we're back on the rostrum with you. So we did this last time in 2006, you won, so it's obviously a good omen.
Well, let's hope so, yeah. Still got a couple of rounds to go, so I've got to try and make the final first, but yeah, let's hope it's a good omen.
Track, very technical, and the temperature is very important. I mean, how would you summate the track? You know, what are the key points of it?
It is very temperature sensitive, and obviously it's ridiculously hot today.
It's too hot, far too hot for my liking. Yeah, I like it nice and cool. Rain, possibly. Yeah, typical UK, you know, bag of chips and some rain, that's good.
Yeah, the track is really hot, the weather is really hot, and I think this is really difficult for everybody.
There's a lot of traction, but the heat, you know, obviously makes it probably worse than if there were no traction. You know, when it's cool, there's so much traction, and then when it heats up, it just burns the tires and gets the tires super hot, so it's much more difficult.
It's a very tight and technical track, which is not such a problem here in qualifying, but tomorrow it's race day. Where can you get past?
Couple of places, I would say. Obviously the end of the main straight is a heavy braking point, so anybody brave enough to leave the foot in a little bit longer and stamp on the anchors a little bit later might be able to eke their way through. Obviously there's a hairpin in the centre after this short shoot. Again, probably the most ideal and easiest, in inverted commas, place to pass.
It's really hard to overtake, but you can maybe make a lot of pressure to the guy in front of you, and also the curbs are really high. So if you hit a curb, you probably fly.
Certainly for me, the hardest section is the chicane, coming onto the sweeper, coming onto the front straightaway. That's, if I lose time on anybody right now, it's definitely there. But I think a lot of that is just driving. Sections like that I normally don't excel in.
There's a hairpin after a little sweeping bit through the middle, and that's where we're tending to suffer. It just doesn't want to turn into that corner. Through the S sections, it's not too bad. The straight seems okay. But yeah, the hairpin is the problem, getting into that. We just need more steering, basically.
This is probably the most difficult part to be fast. It's easy to just cruise through it, but you can make up a lot of time if you get it right, and it's basically the bravest, I think.
Thanks, Andy.